What's going on, everybody? My name is Monatui, coach of the Tampa Bay Luxrays, and this week we are going over our Week 9 team analysis for the PPL Division 2. If you guys don't know what the PPL is or the PPL Division 2, please check out the description below. There will be a link to the Pokemon Premier League Twitter and YouTube. And please check out our opponent. This week we are going up against Under the Radar Kelly, coach of the Maryland Torterrapins. He is a very good battler in his own right. He is currently number 1 in our division. He has a plus 20 differential, I believe. He's 8-1. He's done extremely well this season, much better than I think he imagined. Me and Kelly actually met up at one point. He met me in Baltimore while I was on vacation, so that was really cool. He was a very nice guy. We talked about Pokemon, talked about transfers. He bought me lunch, which was really nice of him, so thank you very much, Kelly. But despite the kindness that he has shown me in the past, in order to achieve promotion into Division 1, I have to destroy him. And so I have built a team that will hopefully do that. Real quickly, I'm going to be going over Kelly's team. He has Mega Houndoom that he dropped me for, I believe, second week of the season. Melodic, Clefable, Kyurem, Jirachi, Gligar, Crobat, and Electivire. Now, his team is going to be kind of tricky because things like Kyurem pretty much rip through me. I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be. Could be sub-lefties, could be sub-life orb roost to attacks. Could be Scarfed as well to outspeed my Mega Aerodactyl, as well as potentially Scarfed Excadrill. Melodic is going to be annoying because even though my Heliolisk deals with it pretty well, it's probably going to have Mirror Coat because he has run Mirror Coat in the past and I don't have a Dark type to absorb it. Electivire is something that can kill off my Manaphy before it has a chance to set up. And Gligar, which he recently picked up for dropping Sandslash, is one of the few things that can stop my Excadrill. So team building was not super easy, and I did change my team quite a few times. However, I think I've built a team that is going to work very well against him, and I'm actually very confident in this team. And real quick, we're going to go over it now. Sorry, I know you saw the heat there, but starting off, we're going to go with Rick Ross the Hariyama. Similar set that I've been running: Close Combat, Knockoff, Ice Punch, Heavy Slam, Max Def, Max Attack, Assault Vest. This is my safest switch-in to two of his very big offensive threats, being Mega Houndoom and Kyurem. Now, as you guys can see, I am running Thick Fat this week. This is the first time I've brought a Thick Fat Hariyama. Every other week it has been Guts. This allows me to take Ice Beams from Kyurem very, very well. It allows me to take Fire Blasts from Mega Houndoom extremely well. He's probably going to be running Flamethrower just because I know he doesn't like the lower accuracy in Fire Blast. And that has been working pretty well for him, so he's probably going to stick with it. Of course, I'm not a super safe switch into Melodic because, again, if I get burned, I do not have Guts, and it's just going to cut my attack and cripple me. Clefable. Sorry about that. Clefable is 2 KO'd by Heavy Slam regardless of its set. Even if it is the Beery Berry, I'll still be able to 2 KO it. It does 70 to 80%. Jirachi I can knock off. Gligar I can hit with an Ice Punch or knock off. Crobat, if it switches into a knockoff or Ice Punch, that'll be cool. And Electivire goes down to 1 Close Combat. So that is my Hariyama set. Again, this is going to be very important because Hariyama only takes about 60% from a Life Orb Draco Meteor from Kyurem. Meaning, if he goes for a Draco Meteor, loses the HP, now, even if he kills off my Hariyama afterwards, now he's at -2, I can go into Manaphy, I can start setting up, I can go into my Aerodactyl, hit things very hard, I can go into Excadrill, start setting up. So, this is a very key part of my team, because Kyurem is a very big threat, and this is my only safe switch into that thing. Now, next up, we're going to go over probably the biggest threat to his team, Manaphy. Now, a little bit of backstory, if you guys haven't heard already. Earlier in the season, like at the very beginning when we were first doing our draft, it came down to my first round pick, and I of course picked Manaphy. I think 3 turns later, Kelly came back into the call, and he was like, alright, I'm super excited, I'm gonna pick up the best setup sweeper, give me Manaphy. And then Ellie and whoever else was in the call was like, nah dude, a little late bud. And for a good like 2 or 3 seconds there was just silence, I think, in his soul slowly falling apart because I had taken Manaphy from him. So he's going to be pissed, and he's probably going to want to kill this thing immediately, but I think he's going to have a hard time doing that, because the set I am bringing, I know you see this EV spread, which we'll get into in a minute. Scald, Calm Mind, Rain Dance, Rest, pretty similar set that I've been running. Rain Dance, of course, to get rid of the sleep. I set up on pretty much everything. Mega Houndoom, setup fodder. Melodic, setup fodder. Clefable, he's going to be running Unaware Clefable, I know that. My Manaphy set can beat an Unaware Clefable, because he is forced to run Moonlight over Soft Boiled. You cannot run an Unaware Clefable with Soft Boiled. Because he is going to be in the rain most turns, Moonlight is only going to be recovering about 25% of his health. Meaning that I can just continuously hit him with Scalds in the rain, which are going to be doing about 30 to 40% depending on his spread. Because he is unaware, he will be taking burn damage on the burn that I will eventually get with Scald. Even though I haven't gotten one yet this season, I will probably get it to him if I keep clicking Scald. And he only has 8 Moonlight, so I'll be able to stall him out of those relatively quickly. So that is why my Manaphy can actually beat an Unaware Clefable. I do not need Tailglow for this. Cure him it sets up on, unless it's like Banded with Outrage, which would be kind of weird. But also if he is, I just go out to Excadrill and Revenge Kill it afterwards. Jirachi can't really beat me. If it's a bulky set with like T-Wave or Body Slam, I'll be able to Rain Dance off the para. If he's a Scarf set with Zen Headbutt, I won't be doing too much. If he is a set with like Thunderbolt or Energy Ball, I will be able to set up on it after one Calm Mind. Gligar is destroyed by me. Crobat, even if it taunts me and prevents me from setting up, I will still be able to hit it with the Calm Mind. We'll still be able to hit it with the Scald, and I'll eventually get the burn. Plus, again, nothing else really wants to switch his end on the Scald. And then there's Electivire. Electivire can beat me, of course. But he may not bring it because I do have a Tangrowth, I do have things like an Excadrill, but if he does bring it, I do have to get rid of that before I start setting up, as I do not want to take a Wild Charge or a Thunder Punch, but I think I can manage getting rid of Electivire. A couple other things to note, because I do think he's going to be bringing Miracle Melodic. I do have to be careful of that. He also could be a Dragon Tail or Haze variant, which means I won't be able to set up on it successfully. So if he goes right out into Melodic, I probably am just going to click Scald, weaken a bit. I can outstall it, like I have more Rests and Rain Dances than he has Recovers, so I should be able to outstall it there. However, it's going to still be annoying. Of course, I do also have my Heliolisk, but again, Mirror Coat is a problem. I can Toxic it with my Uxie, things like that, so I can hopefully deal with the Melodic. Otherwise, if it does not have a way to phase me out, or it doesn't have a Haze, then I will be able to set up on it and eventually beat it. So that is what the Manaphy is planned to do. Also, I'm running this spread because this much defense means I am not 4 KO'd by Jirachi's Zen Headbutt. I'll be able to take as many as possible. And I'm running this much Spadef on a Calm Mind set because almost all of his threats are special attackers, and the physical attackers he have I deal with anyway. Like Crobat does not do a lot of damage to me with Brave Bird. Gligar does very little with Earthquake. Jirachi's not going to be doing much with Zen Headbutt. Again, if he is Energy Ball, that's why I have this Spadef. Kyurem is a special attacker for the most part if he does have Outrage, and again, okay. Clefable, again, is not going to be doing much to me. Also, something about Clefable with Unaware, even if he gets the special attack drops with Moonblast, I don't care because he is unaware, and he doesn't care about my special attack drops. He still thinks I'm at full power. Melodic and Mega Houndoom, obviously special attackers. Again, Evire is still an issue to Melodic, but I'll have to deal with that later on. So, that is the spread I am running. 4 speed just to outspeed uninvested Jirachi, as well as anything that tries to speed creep me, but again, we are mainly going for a bulky setup Manaphy. Alright, so that took a little bit of time on that, but this is a pretty key component to this team, so I felt like it needed its time. Next up, we are going to go over our Mega Aerodactyl. Pressure, standard ability, and then Stone Edge, Earthquake, Ice Fang, and Iron Tail. Just 4 attacks that provide very good move coverage for his team. The only thing I don't hit super effectively is the Melodic, which again I do have Manaphy for. Can Toxic with Uxie, Heliolisk, blah blah blah, things like that. It one-shots the Mega Houndoom, it hits the Clefable extremely hard with Iron Tail, hits the Kyurem extremely hard with Stone Edge, Jirachi very hard with Earthquake, Gligar very hard with Ice Fang, Crobat goes down to Stone Edge, and Electivire goes down to the Earthquake. This is a very big threat to his team as well because it outspeeds everything naturally, as Aerodactyl always does, I am expecting him to bring at least one Scarfer. He could bring Scarf to Electivire, he could bring Scarf to Kyurem, he could very well bring Scarf to Rachi, things like that. So I do have to be very careful of that. However, it's still a very big offensive threat to his team. If I don't see leftovers, I'm thinking it's probably going to be Scarfed, because Kelly, as I know, does not like to run resist berries. He strongly prefers leftovers, as I have kind of been leaning towards lately. So this is my Mega Aerodactyl. This much speed allows me to outspeed Jolly, Jirachi before Mega Evolving, so that's pretty cool. I don't really need to outspeed Crobat. Crobat's not going to be doing too much to me. So, with that out of the way, we are now going to move on to another pretty important pivot I have, and physically defensive monster, Uxie. Running leftovers, we have Knock Off, Thunder Wave, Stealth Rock, and Toxic. I originally had U-Turn over Thunder Wave, but I realized that instead of U-turning out on certain things, I would rather just cripple them with Thunder Wave. For example, I would love to paralyze the Kyurem, love to paralyze the Jirachi, the Crobat. I can knock off the Electivire, knock off the Melodic, knock off the Clavable, things like that. I can paralyze the Mega Houndoom. I can take one Dark Pulse and paralyze the Mega Houndoom, so that's pretty cool. And the set physically defensive, this is to just deal with the physical threats that he does have. For example, Crobat, particularly Electivire. This is my safest switch into Electivire. It can hit me with a Wild Charge, and even if he is banded, I will be able to take 2. So that is why I'm running fully physically defensive for that. Can also deal with the Clefable again, because he's probably going to be running Unaware. I can Toxic it. Gligar can potentially Toxic if he is not Immunity, and he would not be Immunity if he is a Defog Gligar, so that is a definite possibility. And yeah, Toxic just to wear everything down, particularly the Melodic. If I can wear down the Melodic, that would be great. So, we went over that pretty quickly. Next up, we have Heliolisk. Heliolisk? Yeah, Heliolisk. Heliolisk is going to be Choice Scarf this week, Volt Switch, Hyper Voice, Focus Blast, HP Ice. Volt Switch just to hit the, Melodic card. I can Volt Switch out on the Mega Houndoom, on the Clefable, on the Kyurem, pretty much everything other than the Gligar and the Electivire. Hyper Voice hits his entire team neutrally, other than the Jirachi, of course. Focus Blast, because I am Scarfed, I will be able to outspeed Mega Houndoom and a Scarfed Kyurem, so I will be able to hit them with the Focus Blast. It may one-shot the Houndoom, it will not one-shot the Kyurem. And HP Ice, that's just so I can hit the Gligar very hard. It does about 80%, I believe, if he is max HP Eviolite. So that is why I'm running HP Ice there. Again, pretty standard. This is a pretty good switch into the Melodic, but again, I can't really go for Volt Switch because he's definitely going to have the Mirror Coat. Not definitely, but I'm pretty sure he's going to bring the Mirror Coat. So, this is going to be a thing that deals with the Melodic very well, and just, because I am running Scarf, it's also a check to whatever Scarves he decides to bring. Like, he's got to bring at least one, I think, so he's either going to bring Scarf Evire, Scarf Kyurem, or Scarf Jirachi. I outspeed all 3 of those, so this is kind of just like a little check to get some damage off on them and switch out. Alright, so next up, we have one of my favorite sets of the team. This is a mon I have been waiting on bringing for a very long time. We have a Sand Sweeper Excadrill. Every week we have run Mold Breaker. We have brought this thing every single week, and every week it has been Mold Breaker. But this week we don't really have a reason to, because the only thing it would potentially help against would be a Marvel Scale Melodic, but if Melodic is statused in any way, it's going to be easier to deal with regardless, so I don't really need to, Mold Breaker for that. But we are running Muscle Band. I'm not running Life Orb because I want this thing to stick around a while, and I want to bluff the Scarf. If he's in with Houndoom and I'm in with Excadrill, he's probably going to assume I'm Scarf to begin with, and he's going to switch right out. I can just click Earthquake, and that will put the seed in his mind that I am Scarfed. Because I don't need a 4th move, like Earthquake, Iron Head, Rapid Spin are all I really need, I can run Sandstorm. And as you can see, in the sand, I outspeed everything on his team, even if it is Scarfed, other than Crobat, and if you Scarf Crobat, it's really not going to be doing too much to me. With the investment I have, 140 Adamant, I will be able to outspeed a Jolly Max Speed Scarf Jirachi. And if the Melodic is not statused in any way, with the Muscle Band, I will be able to 2-hit KO Melodic, a fully physically defensive Melodic, with Earthquake after Stealth Rocks. I have about a 60% chance to do that, and that's if he is complete max physical defense. So that's really good for me. Ironhead does a lot of damage to Clayable. Earthquake one-shots the Mega Houndoom. Ironhead hits the Kyurem extremely hard. Jirachi goes down to the Earthquake. Electivire goes down to the Earthquake. The only real safe switch in he has is Gligar. And as I've said with pretty much every other Mon, everything else deals with Gligar relatively well. Hariyama has Ice Punch, you have Scald, you have Ice Fang, you have Knockoff and can get rid of its Eviolite, HP Ice here. So as soon as I get rid of Gligar, this thing becomes an immediate threat because it has the potential to one-shot a lot of things on his team, and it's going to outspeed everything in the sand. Whew. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap up the team builder here. We need to win. We need to win our last 3 matches, starting with this one, because we're currently in 4th place. Thankfully, Trav did lose. Unfortunate for Trav, of course, but thankfully Trav did lose this week, or this previous week. So I remain at 4th place, while Chi is at 3rd place, and I want to get to at least 3. 2 would be great, but 3 at least gives me a chance. So we're looking to win. We're looking to win all of them, and if Chi loses once, then we're ahead of them immediately. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and look forward to the match tomorrow because it's going to be intense. This is a good friend of mine, and he's a very good battler, and I think it's going to be a good one. So thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.